Okay. Well, we got quite a lot to cover, so I figured I don't feel like holding the camera for that long, so you guys can just chill on the stool there. I don't think I showed you that. There's a stool under the island for eating breakfast or sitting. We are here.
We've made it to Oregon.
We're not in Gresham, actually, are we?
Nope, we're in Fairview, which is
Fairview.
just west of Gresham. We're east of Portland, so we're not.
Fairview.
It's a nice little community.
Yeah.
Very nice park.
I know it's been a while since we checked in because things went a little haywire for a bit there. When we were in Wyoming, we arrived at our stop for the night, and we stopped at a Walmart, and I noticed that the truck was leaking a little. I didn't think too much of it because it wasn't too bad, but when we arrived at our actual campsite at a KOA, it was just pouring coolant all over the place, and that's not good for those of you who know vehicles. That could be a whole bunch of things, and none of them are very good. So the next morning, I took the truck, to a auto parts store where I took apart a couple of things and took a look, and it turns out our water pump had gone bad. Good news is they had a new water pump. Bad news is I did not have the tools necessary to replace it, and everyone was backed up for a week. The nice gentleman at the AutoZone knew a friend who owned a shop who was actually a Ford mechanic. So he managed to fit me in that day, which was awesome. So I just drove out there. It was still drivable, even though we just had to keep pouring water in it. And then in one day, we actually redid some of the fuel system. We got a new water pump installed, took care of some other stuff. The guy owns the exact same truck, which works super well. So now not only is it running phenomenally well, I also trust it because the mechanic was excellent. So one sort of downside, but led to some good in the truck, which is great. And it was only like a 4-hour delay. So we hit the road at noon.
1 o'clock on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, yeah. So it was a miracle that we got in the first place. All these mechanics had a week-long waiting period, and this guy was able to fit us in. And we were thinking it would be like a 5 or 6 hour process, and it was only 3 or 4. And we were thinking of just staying the rest of the day and just kind of figuring out the next step. But we decided to get on the road right away, and we got on the road for a long time after that.
We started driving at noon or 1 whenever we left, and we drove straight through for, 500 miles.
We drove through, we finished up in Wyoming, drove through Utah and Idaho, and then we made it to Baker City, Oregon, which was about 10 hours away from our original stop in Wyoming, maybe a little longer.
We just didn't want to continue waiting, so we just pulled off at a rest stop. This unit, as I'll show in some future video, actually has a system that allows you to dry camp, so we don't need any hookups. We have water, electricity, and everything all on board, which is excellent. Mostly designed for an overnighter, not for long term, but so we just stopped for a few hours, then got back in the car and drove straight here to this site, where we're now popped out, and then again in another video we'll show the outside and where we are and what it looks like and the amenities of this place. But it's just good to have a place to settle.
We don't have to... Packing up is not bad. We've, limited our stuff pretty easily, so packing up after each site was fairly easy. Now we're actually able to unpack things and sort things out that we want to, because we'll be here on this site at least a month. And it's nice to not have to unpack things at night and then have to pack them up because we would leave it the next morning. But we can really, really just settle in and relax and make this our home and go for plenty of walks. And Josh is going to do some job hunting, and we're just 15 minutes from the gorge, and so we're going to do lots of hikes. We've got a little hiking backpack for this little guy here. As much as possible. Wow, we've got some great weather coming up, and I want to, and I know Josh does as well, we want to do as much hiking as possible to get out there and see some of the beautiful scenery of Oregon that I grew up with, and I want to show to Josh.
And hopefully that means in the coming week or two you won't be getting traveling stories or horror stories about things, but just adventure stories, which is really what this blog should be about. Is just the adventure of what life on the road looks like, and what time together looks like, and work looks like, and all those other things. So we'll keep you updated. We won't let this run too crazy long. But the moral of the story is we're here, we're happy, we're safe, and everything went overall very well. Could have been much worse. So
We all got an excellent night of sleep last night.
Yes,
which was
including him, who, after sleeping in the car and various other things, was not a happy boy.
No.
But
now he's a happy boy.
In which case, we'll catch up with everybody soon. Thanks for all the prayers for those of you who are giving us some prayer cover, because they, as known, things could have been much worse, and with I don't know, a whole bunch of other little stuff that will probably be written down. But we will talk to everybody soon.